Hey guys, it's Jessi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a couple of graphic novel reviews for you guys. So I have been backlogged on these, so I'm finally getting around to sharing what I have read, and I am so excited because a few of these are some of my favorites to date. So I'm just going to jump in and share them with you. There are 5 total, and the first one that I have for you is I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young, and this is Volume 1, Madly Ever After. This is about a little girl named Gertrude who is 6 years old, and she just wishes herself into fairyland. She is told that if she can find the key, there is a way back to her world, but it has been 27 years and she still hasn't found this key. So killing anything and everything that gets in her way, she is bound and determined to get that darn key. And when a curveball is thrown her way, things get a little more heated, and it is a race to find the key. I was recommended I Hate Fairyland, and I'm so glad that I was. I didn't know much going into it, but the cover, it was very eye-catching. As you can tell, it looks very interesting. It looks very cartoony and a little graphic, and I was actually really impressed by this. I must admit that I was a little bit taken aback about how graphic this could get and the imagery in it and the language of it, but the artwork is so fantastic, and it seemed to really tone down some of those overwhelming graphics. It's very bright and vibrant and very cartoony. I'm not a huge fan of ones that have tons of blood, but when it's done really well that I can chuckle and move on, then kudos. So kudos to Scotty Young, because I felt like this one didn't, gross me out or go over the top. It wasn't too much. It was actually really funny, and I loved it. I found this comic to also be highly entertaining. It was really quick and definitely unforgettable. I cannot wait for the next volume to get released. I think it is on December 6th. I did add it to my Christmas list because I can't wait to continue on with Gertrude's little journey, and if she can find that key or how this kind of all plays out. There are lots of ways I think this could go, so I'm curious to see it come together. I did give this a 5-star. Alright, so the next volume that I have for you guys is Paper Girls Volume 1. It is taking place just after Halloween in 1988, and we meet 4 paper girls, Mac, Erin, KJ, and Tiffany, as they start their morning route. They notice that there's a few strange things happening in their neighborhood. People are disappearing, there are strange creatures, loud noises, and the girls decide that they are going to get to the bottom of it and set out to find answers. I picked up this comic because I had been hearing some really great things about it, and I was so excited when it did get released in the full volume, not just in issues. And while it had an interesting plot, it was so strange and weird, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around the whole sci-fi theme, some time travel kind of deal. It was almost too much in my opinion, at least for me. I wasn't super big into the sci-fi part. I also hated that there was like this language barrier. I kind of wish that the creators had used either more emotions or expressions or something else, maybe even just left them completely speechless, just because some of that foreign language to me kind of took away from it, because I couldn't figure out, I understood that they were obviously speaking another language, but I didn't get across what they were going for. And then what the heck does the little Apple product or logo or whatever have to do with all of this? It is killing me to know why the Apple logo just keeps appearing. I really am kind of hoping there's an iPod or, something along with the actual Apple products that's going to appear in here somehow, and I'm guessing that's going to tie to the time travel. Again, I have no idea, so I'm just speculating here. But the ending of this was unexpected, and it was a very nice twist that really did pique my curiosity. And I'm going to continue on only because I want to know how we got to this final point. And I enjoyed the group of friends and how they fought to stay in control. They were all awesome and strong and brave. And lastly, the colors in this were really pretty and muted. I love it when a comic will choose certain colors to really represent a specific mood. And overall, I felt like this was really good. It was just a little bit too far-fetched, so I did give it a 3 out of 5. And I'm gonna continue and see, and maybe it'll kind of build. And maybe when some of those questions get answered, I will feel a little bit better about it. So I think the second one either just got released or is ready to release as well. I didn't add it to my list, but I'm sure I will be picking it up fairly soon. I gave this one 3 stars. All right, so the next comic I picked up was Miss Marvel Volume 2, and it is called Generation Y we pick up where Kamala is still chasing after and battling the same villain that was in Volume 1. She is conflicted about her new role as Miss Marvel and is still learning to use her powers, which I think made her more human and relatable to me. Kamala really did show a lot of character growth. She also realizes that sometimes when we stand together, it makes you stronger. And this volume raised a ton of awareness about our generation and how we feel the need to prove ourselves and how technology plays an impact in all of it, and I really loved it. We also start to see things begin to fall into place and actually gain some traction with this plotline, which is where I had an issue with for a majority in the first one, and I definitely feel like I was a little bit more invested in this volume. It still didn't wow me, but it did hold my attention a lot more than the first one did. Also, the art in the first 2 issues of this volume were by a different artist. I am not sure what was going on there, but I wasn't a fan of it. I really liked that it did have a previously paragraph at the beginning, though, to kind of give me a refresher, especially because it had been like a month or 2 gap between Volume 2 and Volume 1. So overall, I did enjoy this volume. I think that the series is getting better, but it's still not gripping me like I really hoped. I will continue on to Volume 3 and give it like one more chance, and I hope that it finally will just all pull, everything together and really make me feel that this one's worth it for me. Otherwise, I may give up at this point, but like I said, we'll see with the next volume. I did give this one 3 stars again. The next one I read is Lumberjanes Volume 4, and we start off with the girls at this camp out in the woods, and a terrible snowstorm hits. Jen, their leader, gets separated from the group, and these new, bigger creatures are starting to lurk. Rosie ends up rescuing the girls in the middle of the snowstorm, and they head off to solve the mystery of Jen's disappearance. They cross paths with a sketchy character from Rosie's past, and of course, they battle more mystical creatures. I loved that we got a peek into Rosie's past. She is a total BA, and I was eating this one up just because we got so much more to her backstory, and I loved it. We also got to see that Jen stepped up to the plate, took a new challenge, and she was really awesome too. So yes, this is another great volume of Lumberjanes, and if you read these, you will know that they always mention these really strong women in society. The ones that were mentioned in this volume were all awesome. I haven't heard a lot of them, but the good old Google helped me find out more, and I was really fascinated. It is educational and entertaining, and as always, there are themes of feminism, friendship, and they learn to rely on the strengths of the individual help from each girl in the group. I liked that it kind of brought that whole teamwork aspect into things, because I feel like a lot of times, especially nowadays, that can be missing. So like I said, it's educational and entertaining, and I really do love these. I was left wondering though, what the heck is happening to Joe at the end of this. So I'm hoping Volume 5 will be released soon, because I definitely need to go on another adventure with these girls and figure out what the heck, because they thought they've been there a lot longer than they have. It turns out it's only been about a week. And so yeah, I've got a lot of questions and I need my answers, so I'm hoping that will come out. But I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars and highly recommend the series if you guys haven't picked this up yet. It is such a great launching point into graphic novels, or just really great for a younger reader. The last volume that I read for this is Ratqueens Volume 2, and this one jumps between the past and the present. Both are being told almost simultaneously, and it can get a little confusing, yet it was keeping me on the edge of my seat. Things are getting so intense and very graphic as Violet D, Hannah, and Betty continue to battle this growing evil in their town. The evil this round seems to come more so from their past, and it's starting to get very crazy. These girls are also powerful and strong, and I love that we got a ton more backstory on each character, and I feel like I'm really finally starting to grasp why each girl she is the way that she is, and how they all interact, and why each one has got a certain characteristic or trait that really links them all together and makes them so strong as a group. The development in this one was amazing, and it had me just drinking this in. I couldn't put it down. I think one thing that I'm still struggling with this series is that I feel lost at times, but each volume continues to peel back another layer and something else gets revealed, and so far I just can't get enough of it. The storyline is really strong, it's captivating, and the series so far as a whole has just continued to get better and better. And now more than ever, I am left with more questions and I need those answers. So volume 3 definitely needs to get in my hands soon because it is really good. So this one is definitely, like I said, a little more graphic. The language is stronger and there are some sexual content kind of things. So this is definitely for a little bit more mature of an audience, but it's really, really great. Again, another one that was recommended to me and I'm absolutely loving. So this one got 5 stars for sure. All right, guys, so those are all my thoughts and opinions on those 5 graphic novels. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you guys have questions or comments or just want to chat about these, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Bye.